Hi Aries, this is your general tarot reading for Aries Sun, Moon and Ascendant rising sign for the month of March. And before I do anything, let's not forget that this is also birthday month for some of you Aries. So, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Aries who are born in March. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday March born Aries. And this is going to be a very interesting month for your birthday. It's going to be good. It's going to require a lot of focus, a lot of analysing. But ultimately it's going to be very, very, very rewarding. Okay, so if you've seen my videos before, you know what I'm doing here. I'm talking about the energies, shuffling the cards and waiting for the right cards to come out just for you. And so let's talk about those energies as this card. As this card, for your birthday you get the Sun, and I was just going to say the Sun. We're going to lay this down here and wait for the other cards. The Sun is going to be with Neptune in your 12th house. 4 of Wands just jumped out there. And what that's going to do, the Sun is going to act like a torch. It's going to give you the control, the power in your hand to illuminate a very dark corner, which is the 12th house. The 12th house is where things are hidden, where they're often lost and abandoned. You put things in the 12th house when you really don't want to see them again. It's the very, very hidden part of our psyche. So the Sun is going in there, and it's going in there at a time when the Moon, on the other side of things, the Moon is going into your 6th house of analysing, critical thinking, observing and learning. It means a few other things as well, but we'll get there. But just let's focus on this. So we have spoken about in the other videos, hopefully you've watched them since January, about you coming up, you're rising up, your ambition is on the up. Aries is on the move. Now it's only the beginning, we know this, but you're developing something, your career, your ambitions, the fire has been lit and you can hear it, you can feel it. And you're moving, and you're moving to a place of success. You've time to do this. It'll take a bit of time, so there's no great hurry. But what's going to be happening in March is that your reputation is going to be one of these things that are up for review as you move into success. Because, you know, if you're going to be a success, you're going to have a good public image and a good reputation. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. So this is part of your journey into success. This moment where the Sun and Neptune are guiding you through this dark house, as the Page of Wands comes out, to show you what was lost. Now, what was lost? Perhaps your reputation has been lost. No, that doesn't mean that you have a bad reputation. But it does mean that you spent an awful lot of time putting yourself back, putting yourself in the shadows, Aries, letting other people stand out front, and doing your work, tipping away, you know, going along with everything, but there's been no flame in it. You haven't really put yourself out as the front man and the front woman for a very long time, so it's a bit rusty. Your skills of having a good reputation and being well known are a bit rusty now, as the Page of Cups comes out. Interesting. A couple of cards jumped out. Let's go with this. Judgment leapt out. Then that was followed by the 2 of Swords, the 6 of Swords, the 4 of Pentacles. We've only 4 more cards, and I'm going to keep talking. You see, been a few years, a couple of years now, Aries, where you've wanted the opposite of ambition. You just wanted to do your own thing, mind your own business, and retreat from the world. You wanted actively to say, you know, this world, there's nothing here for me. There's nothing in this place for me. I watch people and they annoy me. I read the newspaper, watch the news. It annoys me. Situations, circumstances in my work, in my family, just annoy me. So I'm just going to close the door and tell everybody, thanks, but get the hell away from me. Just don't come near me. And slowly over the past few years, you've been pulling back, because not only did you not want to deal with the shit that's going on outside, but you wanted to draw back to rediscover who you are, because you weren't satisfied anymore with other people defining who you are. You weren't satisfied anymore with other people's dramas, other people's bullshit. And you just said, I'm not finding anything of any great value outside of me. So I'm going to retreat back and go into my little hidden place to find out what is inside me that I can value about myself. So it's quite a deep journey. I always say this, when people come to my videos, you know, they're expected to say, will he call me? Won't she call me? Will I buy the car? Will I get the job? I don't really do that here. I want to talk to you about you. And I want to share your journey with you. I want to see if I can open up something that you might have missed. As 2 cards come up, open up something that I might have missed. 3 of Swords. We got this last month, didn't we, Aries? Queen of Swords. 2 more cards. So what can be opened up and analysed with the moon then going into your 6th house? And analysis, observation, details. Well, you want to tidy things up. You King of Wands there just jumping out. You want to tidy things up about yourself, about your reputation. If you're going to be going full steam ahead, you want to look good and you want to be, here's the word I always use, you want to be authentic. You don't want to play the game anymore. You don't want to put on a shiny face and say, ta-da, here I am. And everyone claps and says, oh, well done, you're so fantastic. But inside you're going, when does this shit end? I just want to go home, have a glass of wine and just watch a video. You know what? And it's you don't want to be just all shiny on the outside. You want something inside of you to motivate you, something inside of you to be authentic in everything that you're doing, in your love life, your relationships, and now particularly in your career, and in what you are putting out there. Okay? And it's going to be quite intense. You've got Jupiter retrograde in your 8th house, intensity, going back with a sense of intensity into all of the avenues we've just spoken about. And money is also an issue too for the month of March, with Venus going into your 2nd house. But Mars is going to sit in there to really drive things along into the 10th house. The 10th house is where Saturn and Pluto are sitting. They're the ones that are squeezing you at the moment to get out there, to build your reputation and to put your face back out there with an authentic identity, really. And so Saturn is squeezing you, saying, come on, get out there. I'm going to make this as uncomfortable as possible for you until you actually start motivating yourself and moving yourself. Pluto is giving you the intensity to say, come on, focus, baby, focus. Let's go deep with this. Let's make this happen. And Pluto will also be helping you to eliminate the shit. Eliminate all the dross, all the heaviness, all the horribleness that you've accumulated and probably shoved back in big boxes into the 12th house that we spoke about. So there we have the sun coming in with the guide Neptune, walking around with the torch like this 12th house and say, what the hell am I just going to throw out here? It's not a spring clean. It is a whole year clean. It is a whole years and years and years clean. You've got to clean it up, baby. And you've got to let people see you shine again. And the best way to shine is to polish yourself up. to clean the edges, to wash it all down and to get rid of the dirt and muck and everything which has accumulated. So March is a busy month for this. Does that make sense? We're waiting on the last card. We're waiting on the last card. And there it is. It is the 8 of Swords. So, you know, the cards are they're quite heavy, but they're reflecting what we're talking about. And I don't want you for a moment to think that this will be a heavy, awful month. You know what it will be? It will be very interesting, Aries, because the 12th house is also very psychic. And this is something you actively want to do. It will trigger... It will trigger moments of, I get it, I get it, I get it. The pieces are here, the jigsaw puzzles, it's all coming together. That's what March will be like. It's all coming together, but in the background. And that's the most important place right now, that it needs to come together, Aries. Okay? So let me just organize these cards and then we'll talk about what the heck they're saying. It's very positive. Very, very positive. Because, I mean, if you're going to present yourself to the world, Aries, you don't want any hidden corners. Because what do we know about becoming a success? The moment you do anything where you put yourself out there and make yourself a success, you're going to get detractors, you're going to get haters, and you're going to get people who might come up out of the past. People who are coming from a shadow place, and they might say, you did that, you don't do this well, you're not this, you can't do that, and they'll mock you and tease you, and that's what happens anytime you step out to do something. It happens to everybody, Aries. And this is the moment in March where you will be so spring cleaned psychically that when these people come and give you the, you know, that big, I always say this, you know, when people give you the sly eye, you know what that people say, that's like a cat. They're being catty. Well, do you know what else cats do, if you've ever watched a cat? A cat will cock up its leg and lick its own arse in public. So anytime you see somebody doing a catty little sly look or a sly remark, say, they're like the cat. All they're doing is cocking their leg and licking their own self in public. And that's what they're doing. That's all they're doing. So detractors, they can get the hell away. Okay, let's look at the cards now, Aries. Here we go. Your first card, the Sun. So the Sun, as we said, is going to be playing a big role. Well, look, the Sun is going in March, around the 20th, the Sun is going into Aries. So this is the Sun saying, ta-da! This is Aries time. That's you saying, look at me, naked. If you want to be naked, like Lady Godiva, that's your own choice. But there'll be bouquets of flowers, of course, to celebrate you. And you'll be riding high with your flag in the air going, this is my time to shine. And it is, Aries, it's your time to shine. And you will be shining that light with Neptune in the hidden corners to clean yourself up psychically, which is one of the most important and powerful things you can do. And beside that, the Sun is shining on a celebration. The Four of Wands traditionally is a marriage or some party, something where people come together and actively celebrate a success. Perhaps in March, Aries, you'll be celebrating the beginning of a project, or people will be coming together to brainstorm. You know, it'll be the beginning of something celebratory. And the Sun gives it its full approval. So, of course, I'm saying maybe you'll be celebrating something, yeah, you'll be celebrating your birthday. Idiot. Yeah, so that's what you'll be doing. You'll be celebrating all this wonderful Aries energy. It's your time, baby. And party, party, party. It's a good time to party. And I love it. I love it. And beside that is the Page of Wands. Now, when this card comes up for me, this is a very, very, very interesting card because there's so many meanings to this. I'm going to go with two here. This is you, Aries. You're looking good. I mean, this guy is looking good. He's not dressed in rags. He is hot. And he's got his big stick. He's got power in his hands. He's bold. He's daring. He's you. Exactly all the things that you are. And he's got his feather in his cap. And he's saying, I am standing here on my own. And I feel good. I feel fresh. Look at all the fresh air beside him. Now look at where he's walking. He's walking on dry land, and that indicates that there's no emotional drama. It's like a dry period for the emotions, and that's good. That's what you need at the moment, Aries. I'm not saying you're without love. I'm not saying people don't love you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's not all about the emotions this month. It's about seeing the horizons, and there's mountains to climb, places to go with a clear mind. So that's your main focus. And okay, so this guy looks good. He looks hot. And this is you for the month of March, Aries. You're beginning to develop, because we've got Mercury and Venus in the first house, where you're developing the skills of communicating who you are well, along with attracting people towards how you look, your beauty and so on. So you'll be dressing up, you'll be looking good, and people will notice it. And it's a wonderful time, because people haven't really been noticing you, Aries, for a long time. They might have noticed the things you're doing, the work you're doing, but they haven't noticed you because, as I said, you've been closing the door and going back into your quiet space. But here you are, you're being noticed. Another meaning of this card, often people say this is the card of an immature person. And I want to explain how I interpret that. You see, after the ace goes all the way through to the 10 with wands, and wands is fire, power, ambition, setting the world alight, okay? The flame that brings all things to life. So after we've arrived at 10, where we've completed the difficult part of our journey, we arrive then at the page. And why people often say he's immature is because he's only beginning to bear fruit. So if you imagine from ace to 10 being like the tree being built, the structure of your ambition has been built. You're building something, your project, whatever it is you're building it. And the page is the first bud beginning to come on the flower, because the point of everything is to blossom, right? So here you are beginning. So in this case, immature in the sense that it's unripe. Your projects are developing. You've got the structure together. You're feeling stronger in yourself. Your backbone is stronger. And now you're slowly begin to open up like a flower. It's starting to blossom. And what exactly is going to blossom? Your fire, baby. People are going to see the flower when it opens as being the most magnificent, hot. Let's not forget this card is also hot. This is a sexy guy. This is a guy who could really charm the pants off anybody. And this is who you are embodying. A bit cheeky, a bit bold, but definitely somebody who turns people's heads. So that's what you're doing. But beside that, this is interesting. Beside that, we've the Page of Cups. Now, again, this Neptune energy in the 12th house, we can interpret this card as self-reflection, digging deep inside the self and asking, who am I? What is my purpose? Where am I going? Okay, so we've talked about this. But he's also the bringer of love, the messenger of love. So in two ways, in your own way, psychically, when the pieces start coming together about yourself, and when you start letting go of the crap that you've been hanging on to for too long, you will start loving yourself more and appreciating yourself and saying, God, I'm actually not as bad as I thought I was. I'm not quite as desperate as I thought I was. I've actually got game. I am pretty hot, and I am somebody worthy of love, but not any old type of love. Somebody who sets me on fire and somebody who comes in with deep passion and deep emotion, somebody who understands how I work on a very deep and psychic level, because cups are often to do with psychic connections. So this could be you, or indeed for the month of March, Aries, it could be a choice of lovers, a water sign, and that is either a Cancerian, a Scorpion, or a Piscean, or it could be another fire sign like yourself, an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, who are saying, wow, Aries is looking hot at the moment. Maybe I need to offer them a little bit of loving and a little bit of hotness. And remember, when water meets fire, we get steam, baby. So it could be a very steamy time in March for you guys. And I know last month we said, we got this card and we said, no, love is on the back burner. I'm happy. I don't want love. I don't want to get into a relationship. I don't want to focus on that right now. I've other things to be focusing on. Yeah, but for the month of March, it doesn't mean that you can't get a bit hot stuff, baby, this evening. I want some hot stuff. Yeah, you can still have a little bit of hot stuff, you know. But here we are, Judgment. We've talked about this. Going into the shadow place, the 12th house, and the angel blowing the horn and saying, rise, rise, rise. Rise, all you naked people. Rise the past. Rise the things that were hidden. Rise the hurts, rise the losses, rise the pain, and everything that you couldn't cope with when it happened. And you said, oh, I'm going to put that away and deal with it at another time because it's just far too painful. Now you're being summoned, in particular with Jupiter going retrograde in the 8th house, scorpionic energy here. It's going to ask you to eliminate, rise the shadows, rise the hurts, rise the pain, and get rid of them because they don't serve you anymore. There's no purpose to hold on to so many hurts. Past relationships that have gone, people who have left, careers that have come crumbling down, losing reputation even in some ways, people thinking that you're a loser. That's not you at the moment. It's not you anymore, Aries. And this is the big cleanup phase where you get to wipe all that away. And it's under the divine instruction, you know. They're saying, no, it's time. This isn't just coming from, I think I'll do this. This is a divine intervention. Divine intervention. That's exactly how we would describe March. But look, here you are in two minds about moving on. It's like, where do I go? What do I do? If I go one way, I might miss an opportunity here. If I go there, I might miss an opportunity there. So you're undecided. You don't quite know where to go. But look here, she has her eyes blindfolded. If you ever look outside a courthouse, you will see the symbol of what people would say is justice standing outside. And really it's the goddess Themis. And she has a blindfold because she doesn't want to be prejudiced against what she sees. She wants to make a judgment based on the facts and the facts alone, not on the person, not on the situation, just on the facts. And this is you, especially with the moon in your 6th house, observing and being critical and only going with the facts. You know, the moon in the 6th house will be asking you to also clean up your health habits, your day-to-day habits, and it will also disclose where there are hidden, I'd say, I won't say enemies because that's a word that's often said, but I don't know if you have enemies, but hidden detractors and places where you self-sabotage. So you'll be weighing all of this up and trying to find a balance in your life there. And you'll be doing it without prejudice. You'll be saying, look, what's the facts here? What's the reality of this situation? What do I really need to tidy up and clean up? And when you do have all the facts, then you can uncross your arms and move ahead with your sword. And I get that in March that there will be that feeling of, God, there's so many things I need to decide on, so many ways I can go, so many avenues, which way, which way, which way. I always say this, anytime you're stuck at a crossroads and you don't know which way to go and you're not getting divine inspiration, when it's all down to you making the decision, close your eyes and choose the most authentic path for you, okay? And if you are sitting there and you have a choice between two people, two lovers, two situations, two paths, two opportunities, then just wait until March really kicks in, and you will have a better understanding of which way to go, who to choose, how to proceed. Just wait. It'll get clearer, okay? And I think what will happen is that once you do decide, once you do finally understand which way you've got to go, which is always the true way, always the most authentic way, the way that you must really ultimately always trust. And that's the test with this card. Can you actually trust with blind faith? See the blindfold. Can you trust this with blind faith? And if you can, then movement will come. And here he is, the movement. Now, what this guy is doing is he's moving away from pain and hurt. More of the same thing, Aries. He's turning his back. And you can see by the people in the card, you know, these people feel a little bit defeated. They feel, oh, for the love of God, you know, let's move away from this place. Let's move out. Let's move on. There's nothing here for us. We're just going to turn our back and get away from all the pain and get away from all the boringness, the boring people, the boring situations, and the people who are dragging the hell out of us. You know, here we have 6, and I'm going to go back 6 years ago to 2012, and you're looking at people and you're saying, back then, those people that are in my life now, their lives were falling apart. They needed my help. They needed things to happen. They relied on me. They depended on me. So many people depended on me, and they came for me for advice, blah, 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 blah. And now when I retreat, when I go back and when I'm having a quiet moment, they're coming at me and they're telling me, here's what you need to do with your life. This is what you need to do. Why have you let yourself go? Why are you hiding? Why are you not out there playing the game? And you're going, you know what, asshole? I was there for you and I helped you when you didn't know where you were going. And now you have all the answers, of course, now. And now you want to tell me where I need to go and what I need to do and how I'm living my life wrong. I just don't. I'm just, you know, I have a choice here. My choice is to just put a knife through you or to say, so long, just get the hell away from me. And that's the energy here. That's what you're going away from people who, they seem to forget that you helped them when they were down. And now when you are in that indecisive place, they have all the answers, but none of them are actually any use. And you're going, how quick you forget when I helped you and now you're not there for me. Fuck you. And excuse my language, Aries, but really, that's what this card is saying to those people. That's what they're saying. And here we have the 4 of Pentacles. Now I get this. This is the card of keeping things close to your chest. Now, you might have a project that you're doing that needs, you know, you need to keep the details a little bit close to your chest. It's a good idea not to go around revealing everything right now. Sometimes it's better to just stay on the down low and just play it cool, play it calm, and play it safe. And that's what this card is asking you to do, to play it cool, calm, and safe, and not to show all your hand at once. Not at least until March is finished, until you've done all this heavy work. Then you can slowly reveal what you've been doing, reveal the full extent of your project. But beside, you see, we have the card beside it here too. So this is a double-edged sword here. On one hand, yes, You have to keep quiet, play it cool, and you might be in a state of observing situations and saying, I'm just going to keep quiet here while I observe. At the same time, that seems to be where you're going. It's more of the same thing. We spoke about you shutting down, closing the door and keeping yourself to yourself. And the more that march goes on, the more that's what you'll be moving towards. Now, when this card comes up, I usually say, don't hold back. Don't get into a poverty-conscious state of mind. But in this case, it's the reverse for you. Yeah, it's pull back. Pull back a little bit so that you can focus on the details and focus on your own spiritual journey. And look at this guy. He's just not letting anybody in. He won't. He's saying, everybody stay away. This is a closed shop. Aries is a closed shop for the month of March because Aries has work to do. And here we are. Let's move up here. Tired of looking down at the cards there, Aries. Let's change the view because we have to talk about this card. And this is the Three of Swords, often being a card of heartbreak. And again, I always say this, sometimes it means that there's a third party in a love situation, but not always. It could be a third party just getting in the way of what you want to do. That every time you want to move ahead, there's a block. Something is getting in your way. That there's a wedge. So you're doing a project, for example, and you're saying, okay, here I go, blah, 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 and you start your project, and then whoosh, something wedges in the middle and you go, oh, for the love of God, can I not just get a full steam ahead? Every corner of my life in love, can it not just go simply? With my friends, can it not just be easy? With my career, can it not just go easy? Apparently not, Aries. Apparently it can't. And there's lessons to be learned in this. If you're dealing with somebody in a relationship of any kind, be it business or in matters of the heart, if there's a wedge between you and them, either a third party or the work could be taking them away or taking you away, whatever the situation is, there's something to be learned in this. So don't get all worried about this. There is a lesson here. And yeah, like last month I said, this card often means being heart weary. You know, when you kind of, like we talked about this, when people say, when people have a short memory, they forget that you were there for them. And now when you're kind of looking for a little bit of inspiration, or you're trying to clean a little bit of space for your future success, which will happen, it will happen, you're feeling, God, here I am, I'm doing this on my own, and those assholes just aren't helping. They're just not helping. And that's a good thing. Why? Because they're not supposed to right now. Right now. They're supposed to leave you alone. They're supposed to put that wedge in the middle so that you fix something in here, that you're not depending on other people to make your living, to move ahead in your life, in all aspects. That when it comes down to it, you have to fix your heart, baby, so that nothing can hurt it in the way that it has been hurt before again. I mean, your heart will always be hurt. All our hearts will always be hurt, because if we've an open heart and a pure heart and a fluid heart, it can be hurt. But you don't want to get to the point where you get a stone heart. And that's the lesson here, not to have a stone heart. You've got to open your heart, but begin and march with yourself. Doing it quietly, doing it without other people, healing your heart. And beside that, I love this. While you're going through healing your heart, you've got great protection. You got this last month too. Call it what you like. Angels, guides, ancestors, those who have gone before you, the universe, the cosmos, your higher mind, your instinct, whatever it is, Aries, that you choose to call this, ultimately, it's the spirit of protection. You're protected. if anybody is messing you around, well, all I can say is, God help them. God help them. Because under her protection, they're going to pay. But anyway, let's not get all the wrath of Aries, the vengeful. We're not going to go there. Just know that that will happen. But, oh God, yeah, I'm feeling that. As I said that, there are people who are putting a wedge in what you're doing, even if it's very subtle. And they're going to pay for that. You might not see it, but they'll feel it. They'll pay for it. I don't know where that came from, Aries. Just something that needed to be said. Anyway, getting back. Here we have the Queen of Swords, often associated with Aquarius. This is a very protective energy. We had the eclipse. Aquarius was your 11th house, was it? Yeah, I think so. And you had that eclipse cleaning up and protecting you when you were with groups of people. In any form of social media, if you have a website, she was cleaning that up and she was giving you extra focus there. And I'm talking, but I'm hearing something. What am I hearing? That's strange. It doesn't often happen that I hear stuff as I'm doing these type of readings. But Aries, look, I'm losing track. I'm trying to focus and I can feel something. What is it? What is it? Okay, slow down. What is it? Aries is protected. Let Aries know that they're protected. Let them know that they're protected in everything that they're doing. And she is really saying, she's turning her back. She's saying, turn your back on that. Turn your back on the nonsense, on the heartbreak and the people who've let you down. Turn your back. I'm fixing this. You just get on with what you're doing. I'm fixing this. And words. If people are coming at you with nasty words, we've talked about this. This is to reinforce it. She's saying, I'm the queen here. I am the queen of all words, really. And if anybody is coming at you with nasty, cutting words, they'll have to get past me first. Wow. Aries, are you dealing with a lot of nasty words? Nasty vibes through words. If you are in the month of March, know that you don't have to worry about it. Know that you don't have to worry about it. That shit has been taken care of. The King of Wands, the embodiment of all that is powerful, daring, bold, ambitious, moving ahead, and he is hot. And this is you. This is you feeling that energy, feeling that fiery energy, because it's a fire card like yourself. But we have to talk about this. We know that there's a full moon in your 7th house of relationships. And here is passion, fire, somebody who is ignited, somebody who loves the whole flame of romance, somebody that is really sexy. Right? So that's either you. But beside it we have the 8 of Swords. And this is the card of self-imposed restrictions and self-imposed prisons. So the end of the month, Aries, you might be saying, I need a little bit of freedom in my relationship. I need a little bit of wiggle room, and I need to ask myself the serious question of, is this relationship holding me back? Now, it doesn't mean you have to cut everything and just go in and say, everybody go away. I don't mean that. But if there are elements within a relationship, for those who are in a relationship or a marriage, if you feel in some way that your partner is holding you back from being your true fiery self, roll your sleeves up, baby, and deal with it. Deal with it. Because you can't stay in the background anymore. There's a fire in you which has to be expressed. And maybe you feel that, again, too many words, it's too intellectual. It's all based on the mind. Could be with an air sign. and you're saying, oh, for the love of God, I just want to feel the fire in my life again. Can you not restrict me? So these are things that you'll be dealing with in March. But all in all, it's a heavy look. It's 40 minutes. I didn't mean to make such a long video, Aries, but there was so much to talk about. And I believe that it deserved to be talked about for you, for your birthday month. It is a good month. You'll be working hard. You'll be doing all the things we said. But remember, in everything you're doing as we go through the months on this upward curve, Aries, you're very, very, very protected. Divinely protected. And the sun shines on everything for you in March. Aries, I'm going to leave you there with that. And I really do wish you a very, very happy birthday. If this is the first time seeing my videos, then please subscribe, like, share. And you know, you can join me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page where I add little extra things sometimes, not very often, but sometimes. And come back next month, because I'm following you, Aries, in a slightly different way, because you're on this curve. I want to track your pattern as you go. And I know at the end it's going to be all about success. We know that. You know that. So let's tune into the details, like March says, and follow this wonderful Aries story, the hero's journey. And for all my beautiful Aries heroes, a big kiss from me to you. See you next time.